The Fortnite community and especially SypherPK just lost it on Geerzy last night because of all the crap that's been going on with creative and people scamming people in order to playing their maps. It has been nothing but a mess, and we're going to take a look at all of it today. Mustard Plays gets into it, Geerzy, SypherPK, and more replies. I'm going to show you all of them. I'm going to show you a clip from SypherPK, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the whole situation afterwards. We're going to get into that in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's start off with this tweet from SypherPK, and I wanted to start on this one because it's not necessarily what started it, but it is pretty much the tweet that's been getting the most attention, the most replies, and so I want to show it first, and I'll backtrack a little bit in just a second. So SypherPK had this to say: yo, Fortnite Create, you guys just letting one of your top map makers abuse copyright. No one owns the word pit. And we're going to have an update on this because, I apologize for pronouncing this wrong, Leoxy made a huge post because his map got taken down, and this is what he had to say. 7 days before payout, my biggest map I've spent weeks working on, constantly updating, has been taken down with no explanation, no email, no DM, no warning, just disabled. Fortnite Create, Fortnite Epic Games, and he was looking for help, and he had an update on this. I've got an email, and yeah, it was Geerzy who striked my map, and just for context on that, Geerzy is the creator of the very popular pit map, one of the most played maps in all of Fortnite right now, even though he has trademark on the name the pit and not pit. Sadly, this is how the big creators work in this field, and this is a really common problem right now. Everybody's been making pit maps, and Geerzy has been going on a rampage taking them down, apparently, especially another pit map with like Leoxy. Again, I apologize for pronouncing that name wrong. The map's been getting taken down. Geerzy just says something, they get taken down. This is crazy, but this is not where it ends because the tweets get even worse. Geerzy actually ended up replying to SypherPK and had this to say: maybe ask a lawyer about the difference between copyright and trademark. And that's just, yeah, we're gonna get into Geerzy being himself, okay? And SypherPK clapped back with this. And I want to know, by the way, if anybody could comment down below and let me know what the history is between SypherPK and Geerzy, because I've never seen Cypher go off on somebody like this, and it's gonna get worse, okay? In my version of the pit, Geerzy, you yourself understood that your map is just your version of the pit, a generic game type that existed before you made your map in Fortnite. And you can see at the very bottom of this thread, Geerzy had this to say: in my version of the pit, I have a pole in the middle of the hole. That is where I hide all of the mechanics. So Cypher is exactly right here, and Geerzy had absolutely nothing to say. Sounds like you still haven't spoken to a lawyer. Geerzy, man, that's not a good reply. And of course, SypherPK being absolutely done with it, because what are you supposed to say to that, man? Geerzy didn't even acknowledge what Cypher said, and Cypher ended up saying, go speak to your parents about not being a little, you know. And this reply in particular had a little bit of mixed bag, mostly because people don't like Geerzy right now. Everybody's upset with him. Everybody was like, oh man, Cypher got him good. And I understand both sides of it in the sense where it's like, okay, Cypher, you should just stick with the facts. And some people were saying that. It's just a little bit of a mixed bag there. I personally like this. If somebody like Geerzy's being the way that Geerzy's being and just not really having an intellectual conversation about it, I think more people need to be told that they're, you know, I'm not going to repeat the word for the YouTube video here. Got to be a little bit careful. But I like that from Cypher. I like that. And there's a couple other people. I'm surprised, by the way, that Geerzy has as many likes on those tweets that he does, but there were some people saying, oh my god, Cypher's being so immature. Like, no, more people need to be told that. More people need to be called out. I disagree with that. But the drama doesn't end there. There are a couple more top replies from other people about the situation. Again, I'll give my thoughts on it afterwards, but SypherPK ended up uploading a video to Twitter. As far as I know, it's not on YouTube. He uploaded it to X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it now, and he explained exactly how people like Geerzy are abusing the system that Epic Games has in place right now to get a lot of plays on their map. And I'll show you that, and I'll react to it afterwards, but it's about a minute long. It's very important that you watch this from SypherPK because it shows exactly what is wrong with this entire system.
I'm on my favorite map, the Pit Free-For-All, made by Geerzy, and this map is actually the #1 most favorited map in Fortnite. Oh, look. Is that a Mythic Zeus Thunderbolt? I actually want to use this weapon on this map right now. Let me see if I can pick this up. It says press. All right, so wait, it's not letting me pick it up. It says like and favorite to support. Oh, so I have to actually like and favorite the map, and then I can pick up the Mythic Thunderbolt. So let me try that. I'm going to click escape, favorite, like. Now I should be able to pick up the Mythic Zeus Thunderbolt. There it is. No, that's actually not working. It's not letting me pick up the Mythic Zeus Thunderbolt, and I feel betrayed, honestly. And I want to take a look right here. This got added onto the map earlier this week. You can see exactly when it got added right here around March 24th. And ever since it got added, the pit went from most favorited number 8 to number 7 to number 6, 4, 3, 2, and now it is the number 1 most favorited map in Fortnite. But that's not all. This map's not the only one doing this. Crazy Red versus Blue, which is most favorited number 2, also used this strategy to climb up the ranks. And BHE 1v1 Build Fights currently has this strategy right now on their map, and they happen to be most favorited number 1, 2, and 3. And this row is actually the strongest row in Discovery. Fortnite, your top creators are abusing your system and tricking people to boost their maps to the top of these charts. Hopefully something is done.
So by that, you can see exactly what is going wrong with this entire system. And guys, like, if you follow the channel, I think it's also important to note, and I say this quite often because I believe it to be entirely accurate, if I'm criticizing something that Epic Games is doing, then there actually is something wrong, because I've been Epic Games' biggest supporter ever since I started playing their games. Everything they do is right. They are not an evil company like everybody talks about. If I'm saying something wrong about this, I think it really means something personally, and Epic Games needs to fix this entire system, because what Geerzy is doing should not be allowed at all. And now Geerzy, I want to say it's just because he has the biggest pit map. He can file these requests, get maps taken down, and continue to exploit the system like he's doing right now. I'm not going to lie to you, it's incredibly intelligent. But at the end of the day, like, it's not fair. It's not fair what he's doing, especially when you're going around using your status to take down other maps. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, but I want to also take a look at a couple more replies over here. And this is by a user named Boop. And this is kind of where I'm sitting on right now, okay? The thing I don't understand with Geerzy is that he's accumulated generational wealth with the pit. And the only way he loses that is by poking the same hornet's nest continuously. Screams insecurity. What's the point for him? All those maps won't affect his income at all. And you know what? I'm kind of sitting there with him. He's been sitting down. What? He has made millions of dollars. Millions. Why are you risking that? And that's exactly the proper way to describe it, is he's constantly poking the same hornet's nest to the point now where he's got somebody like SypherPK. Mustard plays. That's something we're going to take a look at too. Those are people, if you're doing something wrong, those are two people you do not want to be grabbing their attention, you know? And he's exactly right. He could lose this. He's accumulated generational wealth. Who cares if other people are making pit maps? Honestly. But there's a couple more replies I did want to take a look at from here, and this I had to include. I had to include it because a user by my ex-gamer posted this. It's just a picture of pit, and it goes to show that you can't trademark the term pit. It's such a vague term. You can't do it. You can't do it. It can mean so many different things. You can't trademark it, and he's acting like he trademarked pit. Nobody can use the word pit. So he posted a picture of pit from Kid Icarus and Smash Bros, and now people are like, come on, Nintendo, take it down. Nintendo's the first one that owns pit, and like, it kind of just goes to show the flawed logic in trying to trademark what he has right now. Another user by the name of DfnDustin had this to say, and this is something that I wanted to include in the video because I think it's important to spread this message, because this tweet actually wasn't getting all that many views. For those affected by the recent DMCA takedowns, make sure to counter and contact an attorney. Document everything, and honestly, everything. Like, even if you don't think it matters, you need to document it, because a lot of people are being affected by this right now. Not only is it a federal crime to file a false DMCA claim, but the person filing the false claim can be held liable for losses, damages, and attorney fees. No one is going to fight for you on your behalf but you. And I want to stop there for a second, because that's exactly true. The way the world works, the way Twitter works, the way everybody in this outrage culture works right now is everybody's going to forget about this in a few days. You may think that you have people on your side right now if you're a creative map builder, but everybody's going to forget about this in a few days. Everybody's going to go back to playing the pit. Yeah, you know what? He might see a little bit of a small dent of people not playing his map, but at the end of the day, it's going to be there. Like, you just make sure you understand that. It's going to be wild seeing some of those abusing DMCA, addressing multiple per jury charges. And it's exactly right. I think that's very, very important to note, because at this point right now, I've heard about hundreds of maps being taken down. I don't know how accurate that is. Please take that with a huge grain of salt, but I've been hearing people saying that. I just don't know if that's factual myself. Regardless, very important. Document everything. It's very important. Now, Geerzy, the smart man that he is, got the attention of Mustard Plays now. Again, another person that you don't exactly want their attention. I'm not saying that Mustard Plays is vindictive or anything like that, but these guys have their connections. If there's going to be change in the creative map process, it's going to be done by somebody like this. Anyways, so Fortnite creators had this to say, and it's an entire new tweet that I don't think it's important to document. It'd probably be a little bit boring for you guys. We have to action DMCA and trademark requests as required by law, and then they posted the formal process that kicks off when a valid counter notice is filed, and you get the point. So Fortnite creators didn't exactly change anything here, and Mustard Plays quoted it and had this to say: I understand Epic needs to follow the DMCA protocol, but there needs to be consequences for those abusing the system. If you file a DMCA and it's false or no lawsuit is filed, then the accuser should have a 1-week discovery ban on their map. I'll stop there for a second because people don't like the fact that he's just instantly getting permabanned. I disagree with that. I think you can't, like, if Epic Games has allowed this, and you know what, it's scummy. I get it. It's scummy. But if there's no rules in place, they can't just all of a sudden go, okay, Geerzy, your map's banned. You're done now. You know, they need to say, okay, we can't do this anymore. That's not fair to Geerzy. As much as I disagree with what he's doing, think about if you had something done with your map, right? You have this, I don't know, a rule that you have on your map, and all of a sudden Epic Games like, oh, that's not allowed. Oh, it's in your map. You're gone. That's not fair. You have to have the same standard for anybody. So I like the fact that they would start with like a 1-week ban off the discovery, and then maybe you can get into a month, then a year, then a permanent ban maybe. That's just off the top of my head how possibly you could do things. Anyways, continuing on with Mustard Plays, excuse me. Then only legitimate legal claims will be filed. It's time to clean house, Epic. I've seen bullying, false DMCAs, click farming, intimidation to competitors, and more by these top few creators, and it has to stop. I've had conversations with big sponsors and developers that are afraid to come into the space because of these bad actors. Something needs to change. That's exactly true. I completely 110% agree with that. And as of right now, that's pretty much the biggest tweets out there. There's still people having the conversations. There's people just mad at Geerzy in general. And this is one thing that I did want to, actually, I'm going to say this first. I completely disagree with what Geerzy's doing. I completely disagree that it's like, you're pretty much scamming kids into playing your map. It's ridiculous what they're doing. It doesn't shine against map players. You're abusing the system to get to the top of discovery and get millions and millions of dollars. There is another important thing to note that I don't see people talking about, and this is what I was talking about in last week's video, because I made a video covering the creative drama that's been going on, not specifically about Geerzy, but not this situation, what Geerzy's doing. People are taking this and still talking about how it's not okay for people to make pit maps, it's not okay for people to make red versus blue maps because they don't deserve it's ridiculous to me. They don't deserve the money that they're getting because it's a low effort map and many people can do it. Anybody can do it. That's such a ridiculous thing to say that I don't even have a reply to it. You make a map and people play it. You get money. That's it. It doesn't matter how low effort it was. It doesn't matter if you spent your entire life making this immaculate map. If nobody's playing it, why do you deserve any money? The problem comes when Geerzy is using these different kind of scammy tactics to get the map to the top of discovery. That, I think, needs to stop. That, I think, is ridiculous. I think Epic Games needs to step in and actually do something. That system that they're using right now is completely broken. But you need to separate that from what Geerzy's doing, which is wrong, to everybody just making a red versus blue map and pit map. You have everybody kind of bunch them in together. Everybody's like Geerzy. Everybody's a scammer. If people are playing your map, you deserve the money. You wouldn't want anybody else taking money away from your map, would you? Just because somebody went, oh, I can do that too. Well, do it. Do it better. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand how people, you know what? I do understand it because everybody's ridiculous, but it's not fair to any map makers who are getting plays. Again, think if it was your map on the top of discovery. You worked so hard on your map, and it's not easy, by the way. It's not easy to just make a red versus blue map. These people update it, constantly put new guns in there, fix bugs, fix glitches. This is almost like a full-time job for some people monitoring their creative maps. And just for you to sit there and look at people at the top of discovery and go, nah, that didn't take too much work. I deserve that money. I don't even know what to say to that, because that's like the sum up of what people are saying. Who cares how much time it took to make the map? People are playing the map. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't make any sense. Why do you deserve any of that money? And why are you wrapping so many different Fortnite creators or Unreal Engine Fortnite creators, creative map makers, into what Geerzy's doing? There are people who are doing what Geerzy's doing, and that's wrong, and I've said that. But there's an important line there that needs to be drawn that people aren't drawing. People are still really just, anytime there's a red versus blue map, anytime there's a pit map, people are like, oh my god, that map, I'm laughing even just repeating it. Oh, that map didn't take any effort to make. You're wrong, first of all, and who cares? Who cares? If I made a map and it was just a tunnel, you'll walk through the tunnel and the game's over. If people played it, it took me 5 minutes. If people played it, I deserve the money. Not you, not anybody else, not your map with 2 viewers or 2 players. Again, I think that's very, very important to note. But going back to Geerzy, man, I can't wait to see how this this continues to unfold here, because I've never seen Sypher personally, but I also haven't been following Sypher as much as many people have been over the years. I've never seen him actually just lose it on somebody the way that he lost it to Geerzy. And I think it's, honestly, I think it's good that people are hating Geerzy right now. I think what he's doing is ridiculous. I think about the people who are making their maps, and people have this as their full-time jobs, because this can, look what Geerzy did. He made generational wealth. This is an amazing opportunity for people to not have to work ever again. They can just make a map, have people play it, fix the map, and boom, they're set for life. That's a beautiful thing. And Geerzy's going around going, no, anybody that uses the word pit, no, you're taken down, you're taken down, you're taken down. You can't trademark the word pit. It doesn't exist. You can't do that. So I think what he's doing is horrible. I'm glad he's being called out. I don't know why he's doing it. I wish I could tell you. Clark made a fantastic video. You guys should go check it out. I'll try to remember to put it in the pinned comment, but apologies if I don't. Where he actually called out Geerzy, and he said something to the extent, of course I'm paraphrasing, where it's like, Geerzy's just defending this so much because this is the only thing that he's ever accomplished in his life, and he's afraid that somebody can do it better. And it's true. If you've ever played the pit, somebody probably could make it better. And for those of you just complaining about any pit map, you can do it better. Just do it better. If you want that money, make the pit map, do it better. People like the pit maps, and that's something that the Fortnite community needs to understand. People like these maps. I love Zone Wars. If I'm playing creative, I'm playing Zone Wars. I don't care if it's bland. I don't care if there's a lot of maps on it. I enjoy playing Zone Wars. There's nothing wrong with people making Zone Wars maps, red versus blue maps, pit maps. It doesn't matter. If people are playing your map, you deserve the money. Think about it with anything in life. Anything. Just imagine someone walking up or just pointing from the outside. You work so hard for your money. Let's say, I don't know, you work 40 hours a week. Somebody just points at you and goes, nah, that job's a little bit easier than mine. I want some of his money. That's ridiculous. That's what people are doing. And people, it's like, no, it's the equivalent to homeless people saying that. People who don't even work. Like, why do you deserve any of my money? It's crazy to me how entitled people are about this. So, again, there's a line that needs to be drawn there. Geerzy's wrong, but it's not wrong for making any map that you want. If it gets plays, it gets plays. You just got to make sure that you're not scamming your way to the top of Discovery. But guys, let me know what you think about this down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. On the screen right now, we dive more into the entire creative drama topic. It's from last week. It's not diving into Geerzy specifically, but expanding on this topic. Check out the video on screen right now. I will see you either there or in the next one, guys. Take care.